So VGC 2013 is just around the corner for us here in the UK. It's coming up this Sunday on the 2nd of June, and I kind of had a bit of a freak out yesterday. Well, I say freak out. I have no idea what team I want to use. I have got a VGC 2013 battle here for you guys against the guy I found on the Smoke on Wi-Fi battle finder, but and I'm using the same team that I used for the previous international challenge, which goes by the current VGC rules. And for those of you that don't know, VGC stands for Video Game Championships, and the rules set, there's a few banned Pokemon, such as basically the main Ubers and certain event Pokemon, and has you showcase your 6 Pokemon against your opponent's 6 Pokemon, and then you pick 4 to battle each other in a double battle manner. So this is the same team that I'm using as what I used for the previous tournament. I did very well in that. I played 10 games and won all 10 games, but couldn't end up playing more because of course with deadlines, but that doesn't matter. And this team has worked very well for me in the past, but again, people seem to know it quite well now. I end up laddering up to 17th position on Pokemon Online. I know it's not really that high, but I am quite proud of that. I beat the person that was 6th with his team. And I've kind of just, cherry picked the best Pokemon. I'm just going to move my mic. I've kind of just cherry picked the best Pokemon that I found from teams that I've seen used last year, with the metagame being fairly similar, except now the Ethereum forms are introduced, as well as the move pools being fairly bigger. But so the battle strategy behind these two is that they both have the Intimidate ability, meaning that all physical attackers that we come against are going to be put at -2 attack. But Metagross, being one of them absolute tanks, is going to have that clear body ability, meaning it's going to have no effect from those stat changes, which means my Intimidate was rendered useless at that point. And his Metagross his Latios, being more special, tends to be a more special attacker. Doesn't matter at all. So he leads off with the Metagross and the Latios, which are famous for the synergy that they have. What I mean by synergy is that what hits super effective on Latios is resisted by Metagross and vice versa. And he predicts with his Latios, either predicting the fake out or wanting to know what kind of set my summons is. I show that I want to go for the Draco meter on his Latios, as he then predicts that nicely, goes out into the Metagross, which, as I said, is going to resist that, with Steel being one of the few types that does resist the Dragon type attacks, which isn't going to do much to the Metagross. It only does around quarter, whereas it would have absolutely OHKO'd the Latios, doing roughly 150% to it from full HP. So this turn out, I go for the Crunch on the Cresselia just to try and get some damage off. My opponent is looking the stronger play, making all the right predictions. Also, I'm kind of just sat there and just hitting hard. And he goes for the Trick Room, and this is where I kind of know that he's got the exact same Cresselia and Metagross as what I'm using. And I know that because they're exact same Cresselia and Metagross that was used famously by a guy called Ray Rizzo, who won the VGC 2012 last year that was held in Hawaii. And after winning it for the 4th time in the year, he released his team, and this Cresselia and Metagross that he used was just an absolute monster. It has the Cresselia being sassy natured with 0 speed IVs, whilst the Metagross is brave with only 14. And then under Trick Room conditions, the Cresselia is 1 speed stat faster than the Metagross, which means that it goes before, can fire off a Swagger on its own Metagross, which is going to put the Metagross to +2 attack and confuse it. But then the Metagross does have the Lumberry, which is going to cure itself from confusion, making the Metagross one of the fastest Pokemon on the field at +2 attack, with no drawbacks really. So I end up sending out my own Cresselia and Metagross to try and take on this similar, the exact two, and I switch my Metagross, my Salamence out for my Metagross as he goes for the Meteor Mash, which isn't going to do too much, to be fair. I know that the EV spread on these Metagrosses are more heavily invested in bulk, and his Cresselia ends up winning the speed tie over mine, and is able to get the Swagger off before I can. as I then end up hitting myself in confusion, which does suck a lot, but again, it's hacks, it's part of the game, and it's one of the reasons why this team is so good. Sorry, these two Pokemon. So again, because I predicted the Earthquake at the beginning of the turn, I end up protecting with my Metagross, knowing that he's going to go for the Earthquake. I now predict him to go for the Earthquake again and switch out my Metagross into my Salamence, who is immune to the ground. Excuse me. Who's immune to the ground type attacks because of its flying type. Whilst the Cresselia, both Cresselias are further immune to the Earthquake because of the Levitate. Ends up switching up moves though and goes for the Meat Mash on my Cresselia. It's going to do a lot of damage, but I am from full HP. I know I can take them, but I was expected to take them a lot nicer than that. That does a lot of damage to my Cresselia, but I do get the Citrus Berry boost, which is going to put me at 111 HP, just below half. And I end up winning the speed tie now over his Cresselia, and this is where hacks kind of comes in my favour. I break through confusion, hit the swag on his Metagross, sorry. Yeah, that was I was contemplating whether I wanted to do that or not, because his Metagross is already at +2 attack, but I know that if I put it at +4, if on the off chance it does hit itself in confusion, it will probably, I say probably, it'll do a lot of damage to itself. Basically, that's how it works. You know, the higher your attack, when you hit yourself in confusion, the more damage it's going to do. Basically, that's how it works. And now, not wanting to risk the confusion and hitting itself, it does end up switching out into the Latios, predicting the Heat Wave that I end up firing off with my Salamence at the end of the round. And I end up winning the speed tie again with my Cresselia, break through confusion again, and hit the Swagger off on his Cresselia, who is now going to go, and of course, to my luck, the Cresselia hits itself in confusion, which is amazing for me. I said that a little earlier there, guys, sorry for spoiling that, but yeah, it hits itself in confusion, which is brilliant, because I was fearing the Ice Beam on my Salamence, as I then just go for the Heat Wave. Would have hit for super effective damage on the Metagross, but again is resisted by the Latios. That huge synergy going on against, amazingly good. And I lower his Cresselia down to that range of HP where he ends up getting the Citrus boost, and the Trick Room conditions are going to end, which means now that my my Salamence is the fastest Pokemon field, being Choice Scarf, but being locked into the Heat Wave, I don't really want to stay in, and I don't really think my opponent wants to over-predict right now either. So he goes for Draco Meteor on my Salamence, which is going to hit for a lot of damage, being Dragon Gem boosted Draco Meteor. I'm presuming it's a Timid Latios, they normally are. It's going to hit for a lot of damage, but he ends up going for the Draco on my Cresselia, which is going to clean out, take him out, is probably the better play on my opponent, predicting the switch into my Metagross. Was being able to take out my Cresselia, which is a huge wall that, you know, and the problem you got to try and deal with, as his Cresselia then ends up going last, and hits itself in confusion again, which is, you know, just brilliant for me. That Swagger is definitely deciding to pay off. So right now I go into my Salamence, and I predict him to predict me. Well, I predict him to switch out into his Metagross to take the Draco Meteor attack, which is going to hit for super effective damage on the Latios. And I predict him to make that switch extremely nicely, and I think it was this play that was kind of the turning point in the battle. It kind of put me on the upper hand. And after predicting that switch into the Metagross, I can go for the Heat Wave, which will hit for super effective damage on the Metagross, which will do a lot of damage. But again, because I know that these Metagross sets do have a lot of natural bulk, it will just about live that. But then after hitting the Meteor Mash on the Cresselia, thinking it would take out with the Heat Wave, but it just about lives. And I was thinking then for the third time in a row, would it hit itself in confusion? And it does. So, you know, there's definitely been hacks on his half of the battle. Cresselia hitting itself 3 times in a row due to confusion. you don't see that very often, but yeah, that's part of the game. It's what you gotta deal with again. So I think he now knows that my Salamence is choiced, and knows that it can freely switch in its Latios without fearing the Dragon type move. So I kind of want to switch out my Salamence and save it for later to try and take on the Latios with this my own Draco Meteor, which will take it out, no doubt. So I switch out into my Scrafty to take on these two Pokemon, and I go for the Protect on my Metagross, as he then protects. Wait, no, I have no idea what just happened then. I'm extremely sorry, you guys. I completely missed what just happened. He went for the Hidden Power on my Metagross, which is, I'm thinking is going to be Ground or Fire, to hit for super active damage. But he, sorry, right, I know what I've done wrong. I'm a turn ahead of myself. He goes for the Double Protect now, predicting the Fake Out from my Scrafty, which will render one of his Pokemon useless for the turn, whilst I can smack it hard in the face with any attack from my Metagross. I do decide to go for the Earthquake. I wasn't sure whether Meteor Mash would take out his Metagross from there, so that's a bad play on my half as he goes for the Double Protect. The Fake Out doesn't hit anyone, and I end up just Earthquaking my own Scrafty. But again, because the Scrafty does have a lot of bulk anyway, I can take that hit fairly nicely, and he ends up switching out now. I don't know whether, well, I don't know why really, but I can go for the Crunch with my Scrafty on the Metagross. Will do get the KO from that amount of HP. It did surprise me, but you know, I'm extremely happy that my Scrafty can take out a Metagross from like -3 HP. As I go for the Meteor Mash on the Conkeldurr, which doesn't even do half to it. Again, the Conkeldurrs will be heavily invested into HP and possibly defense, with them being, you know, the prominent Trick Room attackers. So he's now down to his last two Pokemon, this Latios and his Conkeldurr, as he goes for HP Ground or Fire on my Metagross. I just about live with 10 HP. Can get the Crunch off on the Latios, which does a lot of damage. I was kind of expecting to see it's a critical hit written, but it wasn't. It just goes to show kind of how frail Latios are to the Dark type attacks, or the physical type attacks, as I can easily take out the Conkeldurr with the Zen Headbutt. Will definitely outspeed her. This Conkeldurr is probably going to be brave natured to hit hard and hit fast under Trick Room conditions, and he's down to his last Pokemon. I still have 3 remaining, and I still have Salamence in the bank to take on this Latios. And I know that the Latios won't be Choice Scarfed. I don't even know if that is a thing, because we saw the Dragon Gem earlier on in the battle. But turns out I didn't even need to use my Salamence, as I can kill off his Latios with a Crunch from my Scrafty. So that's a good game, Lucy. She doesn't have a YouTube channel. I did find her on Smoke and Wi-Fi Battle Finder again. That seems to be where I'm getting most of my battles at the moment. I do have a planned RU match against King Quags. So shout out King Quags, he's a great guy. I've got speaking to him a lot lately, and I'm definitely looking forward to this RU battle with him. I think you guys can kind of predict more VGC battles up to Sunday, and you know, for the week following Sunday, and depending on how well I do, I'll let all you guys know. So don't forget to, you know, give a good old thumb up for this video, share the video to all your friends, favourite it, subscribe to my channel, all that good shit. I'm Youngster JPal, and I'll see you later. Thanks.